Being able to rotate intelligently in Fortnite is probably one of the hardest and most rewarding aspects of the game. A bad rotation can grief your entire game, and a good one can save it. Today, we are going to be taking a look at how you as a player can start making the right rotation decisions in-game today. Hi everyone, my name is HyperDrivedGG and welcome to my first episode of my new series, Gamesense 101. In this series, I will be taking you through every aspect of Gamesense in Fortnite to teach you how to improve your knowledge of the game and start winning more games. Alright guys, let's hop right into it. The most important thing when deciding on your rotations is looking at your surroundings. Whether that is a player's position around you, the map's terrain, where the zone is, etc. For example, let's put you into a scenario. It is half in, half out. You are all the way across the map with no jump pad, limited mats, and a player next to you just opened up a supply drop. So what do? Do you rotate early, use up a bunch of mats and get held out of the zone by players inside of it? Do you try to follow someone else's tarp and preserve mats but take the risk of getting turned on? Well, if you had listened to what I said before, you would have heard that the player next to you had just opened up a supply drop. Supply drops, along with llamas, have a 100% drop of jump pads. Most players, if they have a jump pad, are going to wait until storm is right up against them before they use it, so they can reduce the amount they get beamed out of the sky. What you should do is be aware that the player has the pad, and wait for them to place it down, then use it. Looking at what players do around you is an extremely important way to look at what your next move should be rotating. Is a player extending a box out towards the zone, looking like they're about to launch? Are they making no attempt to start rotating themselves? These are different signs to tell that someone is about to use a jump pad, and you should probably wait for them to place it down. This does not always work, but the reward is worth the wait, as it very well might save your game, as you preserved mats and hopefully preserved health. Another important aspect of rotating is using utility to aid your rotation. By that, I mean using something like a rocket launcher to apply pressure to a player who is going to pressure you. This forces them to use builds, takes time from them, and gives you more of an opportunity to rotate without being pressured. So after you have checked your surroundings and are forced to rotate without a jump pad, it is important to think about your options. Based on what we've talked about, what path is going to lead you to using the least amount of mats, losing the least amount of health, and possibly securing you a kill? I like to use a method called obscuring vision, and in this I will use pre-built structures, building where I need to, or using the terrain of the map to obscure the vision of the targets who will most likely focus me. This forces them to turn to a different target, as many players will not spray through metal builds or they cannot shoot through the structures in the terrain. A general tip is to not rotate straight down the middle of the zone, but to rather rotate around the sides. This way you're able to limit the amount of people targeting you and rotate easier. An extremely important tip to use when rotating in mid to late game is to not build out of wood. Using hard mats such as brick and metal will make players not want to shoot you because of the extra ammo they have to use. Along with that, many players will assume that people building out of wood are low on mats and will pressure you harder. Knowing when to use different materials is an extremely important concept to understand. Alright, so you've made it to the end game, and now you are forced to drop down to low ground with barely any mats to your name. Your next step should be to secure an impact frag. Proper rotations and deciding on a player to surprise them will help secure this frag for you. Is someone distracted, building out of wood, or drinking shields? This is a sign to apply pressure by either jumping into their box or lasering their builds. Understanding the importance of floppers and playing in the zone is a great tip that will get people to stop applying pressure onto you, but might also get you some kills by surprising players from behind them. Getting into zone and into someone's tarp behind them is an extremely important tactic to be using, as it usually secures a frag. Most end game rotations will matter based on your surroundings. Look at this video in a KNG scrim where I used my surroundings to secure the win. I played the low ground, in the water, and waited for an opportunity. I used my rocket launcher to aid my rotations and distract players while I rotated, and got a lucky impact frag when someone dropped down onto me. I then used my flopper and played in zone to stop the player on height from applying pressure onto me, again using my rocket launcher. Then, I surprised a player by waiting for them to open up an edit and getting an important impact frag that secured me the win. Then, I just played smart, looked at height, dropped them down, and won the game. Alright guys, that's the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. If you want more, subscribe. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to hit that like button. And if you didn't, tell me what you want me to improve for the next video. I look forward to continuing this series, and I will see you guys in the next one.